Now, I really am an old-fashioned boy. You know, when I go into a restaurant and they have crumbed calamari, I always order it, and I'm normally disappointed. Oh, it's awful. It's, you know, it's either been pre-crumbed. I'm not talking about, you know, when I go to a real posh restaurant, but of course they don't serve crumbed calamari, do they? But, you know, I'm talking about they have either bought it pre-crumbed, or they haven't looked after it, or they haven't bought fresh, whatever. It really disappoints me. So what I'm going to do, because I'm such a nice fella, I'm going to show you how to do it properly. First of all, the tartare sauce, very important. Have to have tartare sauce, don't we? And what I've got there, I've got some spring onions, I've got baby capers, which I've just rinsed, and I've got some gherkins. Just one gherkin it is, because remember, I'm only cooking for one, aren't I? Right, so we put those in. You can put some chopped parsley in too if you like. I got lazy and couldn't be bothered, but that's just me. I don't ever reckon you taste it. It looks good, but you don't taste it. Right, and the other thing is I've always got at my home is I've got some homemade mayonnaise, which I just keep in a container like that, just a takeaway container. Now, I've shown you how to make this. You have a look on the website, and it is the simplest mayonnaise in the world, and it is absolutely brilliant. And if I remember rightly, I think there's a walled-off salad with it, you know, the old famous walled-off salad from Fawlty Towers. A little bit of lemon juice. Now, the calamari. You buy calamari, not squid, and you buy it whole like that, and I'll show you how to prep it. You know, when you have calamari and they haven't done it properly, it's always a bit rubbery. That's because they haven't taken that outer skin off. First of all, we'll just get rid of this part of it. Now keep that, because I make salads out of that. You can freeze those tentacles. Just cut the tentacles off from here. See underneath the eye there, you just cut it off there and put those in a little freezer pack. The calamari itself, we've got this tube here, and we're going to skin it. The other thing that is interesting, you have to take out that. It's sort of like a plastic quill, isn't it? See, I'm taking these flaps off. I know people like Michael Bakash, who's one of the great seafood cooks. He leaves those flaps on, skins them, but leaves them on. Well, that's when he's grilling it, of course, and as I said, there's the quill. We take that out. Right, but I take the flaps off, and then we just grab a knife and we just get this bit of the skin off that doesn't want to come off. That's what is rubbery on it. So you want all that off. I just cut this neatly here and cut that there, and I'll tell you why. You want to take all the rubbish that's inside, if there is any, like that for example, and then we just cut it into rings. So into the flour's got a bit of seasoning in it, and we toss it around well, and then into the egg wash, which is 1 egg, about 1/4 cup of milk. Just take it out separately. This is the secret. You don't want too much flour on it, so if it's a bit floury, just dust it off. It's funny, when I bought this at the fishmonger said to me, "Oh, what do you want the whole ones for? Why don't you buy these cleaned ones?" And the clean ones had so obviously been frozen, and he wasn't being nasty, he was being helpful. He was saying, you know, all that work. I think he had these ones on display more than anything else. So into some crumbs. Now, you can use homemade crumbs, or you can use panko crumbs. I'm using panko crumbs. Don't use the packet bought crumbs, because I always think they're a bit, how's your father? They're not very good, are they? So don't overload the crumbs. What I normally do is I have a thermometer for my deep frying oil, and I've just used vegetable oil, just straight vegetable oil. You use vegetable shortening if you like. But I've lost my thermometer. I don't know what happened to it, but anyway, that's fine. I'll show you how to see if it's ready. Right, because you want it about 180 degrees. You put a cube of bread in it. Now, if the bread sinks to the bottom, which this one's not, it is too fast. If it burns in about 2 seconds, it is too hot. And can I tell you, if it's too hot, you know what you do? Just add a bit of fresh oil. See, that's perfect. Now, that was a fluke. But that is perfect, because it's just cooking gently and it's nice and golden colour, and that is exactly what I'm after. That, my friends, I can tell you is 180 degrees. Now, let's start thinking about throwing a calamari in. Now, do yourself a favour, don't overcrowd it. All right, keep an eye on it. It won't take long, because it's baby calamari and it's quite small, so please don't overcook it. Make sure you drain it really well. It's looking rather good, isn't it? Let's start thinking about our tartare. The other thing that is important is some good salt, which I've got here, and a decent amount of it. Now I reckon, of course people have this as an entree, I reckon this is a lovely light lunch with a really good green salad alongside. Now, to go with that, what shall we have? Now, my mate, Neil Prentice, who does some wine selections for me, he says that Australians say that July is the dry month because you actually don't drink in July. Well, he doesn't reckon that's the case. He reckons July is the month that you drink twice as much dry Riesling. So I've got a beautiful dry Riesling from Paringa Estate, which is one of the best from Mornington Peninsula to go with my calamari, and you can have it in July or any other month. He might get me into awful trouble saying that. Anyway, sounds fair to me.